Chapter 1: The Crash. The storm that night was unlike anything I had ever seen. Thunder shook the walls of my isolated farmhouse, and lightning split the sky in jagged violet streaks. I had just settled in with a book when an ear-splitting boom rattled the windows. Something had hit the ground hard. Curiosity overpowered caution. Grabbing a flashlight and my raincoat, I trudged through the mud toward the source of the noise. Half a mile into the woods. That's when I saw it. A smoldering wreckage, not of any plane or drone I recognized, but something sleek, metallic, and utterly otherworldly. And then movement. A figure staggered from the wreck, collapsing face first into the mud. I rushed forward, my heart hammering. As I rolled her over, my breath caught. She was humanoid but not human. Her skin shimmered faintly like mother of pearl, and her ears tapered into delicate points. Her eyes fluttered open, golden, with vertical pupils like a cat's. She gasped, gripping my arm with surprising strength. "Help, please." And just like that, my life changed forever. Chapter 2: The Stranger in My Home. I carried her back to the house, her body lighter than expected, as if her bones were hollow. She was unconscious by the time I laid her on the couch. Up close, I noticed more oddities. Her fingers had an extra joint, and her breathing was slow, deliberate, as if she was conserving energy. I cleaned the mud from her face, noting the strange, intricate markings along her temples. Bioluminescent, pulsing faintly blue. Alien. There was no doubt now. When she woke hours later, she bolted upright, eyes wild. "Where?" "You crashed," I said, keeping my voice calm. "I'm not going to hurt you." She studied me, then the room before exhaling. "Thank you." Her voice was melodic, accented in a way I couldn't place. "What's your name?" I asked. She hesitated. "In your language." "Elara." Over the next few days, Elara recovered slowly. She explained little, only that she was from a world far away, that her ship had malfunctioned and she was stranded. She didn't know if her people would come for her. And then the military arrived. Chapter 3: The Hunt. Black SUVs rolled up my driveway. Men in dark suits knocked on my door, flashing badges that meant nothing to me. "We're investigating reports of an unidentified aircraft in the area," one said, eyes scanning past me into the house. Elara was hiding in the cellar, but for how long? Play dumb. Just heard the noise. Didn't see anything. They didn't believe me. 4 days they surveilled the property. Elara couldn't leave. We grew closer, her teaching me snippets of her language, me showing her human movies, which she found baffling yet endearing. Then one night she whispered, "They won't stop looking. If they find me." I knew what she meant. Dissection. Experiments. Life in a cage. "We'll run," I said. Chapter 4: The Escape. We waited until a heavy rain masked our movements. Elara wore a hoodie, her markings hidden, her strange eyes covered by sunglasses. My truck was old, untraceable. We drove for hours, switching vehicles at a junkyard I knew. But they were still following. At a motel in the middle of nowhere, Elara finally broke. "I can't keep putting you in danger." I cupped her face. "You're not." She leaned in, and then her lips met mine. Warm, electric, unlike anything I'd ever felt. We weren't just running together anymore. We were together. Chapter 5. A New Life. Months passed. The search died down. We settled in a remote coastal town where no one asked questions. Elara's ship was gone, her people silent. Earth was her home now. And me. I was hers. One evening, as we sat on the porch watching the stars, she placed a hand on her stomach and smiled. "There's something I need to tell you." My breath hitched. "We're going to have a child," she whispered. Tears welled in my eyes. This alien woman, once a stranger, was now my family. And as the stars shimmered above us, I knew, no matter where she was from, this was where she belonged. Years passed in our little coastal town, and the child Elara carried, our daughter Lyria, grew into a curious bright-eyed girl with her mother's golden eyes and my stubbornness. She was a miracle, a blend of two worlds, her laughter ringing through our home like music. The military never stopped searching entirely. Rumors of unidentified beings still surfaced in the news, and dark vehicles occasionally prowled nearby towns. But we were careful. Elara had taught me how to mask energy signatures, how to avoid detection. We lived quietly, happily. Then one night the sky changed. A light streaked across the stars, not a meteor, but something controlled, deliberate. It hovered above the cliffs near our home before vanishing. Elara stood frozen in the doorway, her markings glowing faintly, a reaction she couldn't suppress when overcome with emotion. "They're here," she whispered. My stomach twisted. After all this time, had her people finally come for her? Would they take her back? Take us? We waited in tense silence until dawn. Then, as the first light touched the horizon, 3 figures appeared at the edge of our property. Tall, elegant, their skin shimmering like Elara's. But they didn't come with weapons. They came with open hands. One stepped forward, speaking in a fluid, melodic language. Elara's breath caught. Then she responded, her voice trembling. When she turned to me, tears streaked her face. "They've been searching for me, but not to take me back. To see if I was alive. Tell me. I can go home if I wish." My heart stopped. She reached for my hand, then Lyria's. "But this is my home now." The aliens, her people, nodded slowly. They had known. They had expected this. And then they offered something unimaginable. "A choice," Elara translated. "For all of us. We can stay, or we can go with them. Not just me. Lyria. Together." I stared at her, then at our daughter, who was watching the strangers with awe, not fear. "Are you saying we could see your world?" "Yes." Elara smiled. "And others." That night we stood beneath the stars as a family, weighing the impossible. Earth was all I had ever known. But love had already taken me beyond the ordinary. So when Lyria whispered, "Can we really go, Daddy?" I knew the answer. We left at dawn. Not as fugitives, not as prisoners, but as explorers. As a family. And as our ship ascended, Earth shrinking below us, Elara squeezed my hand. "Welcome," she said softly, "to the universe."